The fresh start of a new year can provide us with the hope, encouragement, and motivation we need to set goals and resolutions that will improve our lives. Maybe you set resolutions at the beginning of the year, and maybe you stuck with them, or not. Maybe you're doing well in certain areas but falling off track in others. Maybe you didn't set any goals at all. Or maybe you're in need of a full-on factory reset. Regardless of your current situation, now may be a good time to create or refresh your goals, reignite your excitement, and provide you with the direction you need to pursue your ambitions. Hello everyone, and welcome to Active Advancement. My name is Katie, and I share research-backed knowledge and strategies with a goal to empower you to lead an active lifestyle and advance in your self-development journey. In this video, I'll be providing you with a 4-step process that describes how to perform a mid-year check-in. This process has helped me to stick with my goals, and I believe that it can help you to achieve your goals as well. Before jumping into the process, let's talk about why this process is important. As mentioned in my previous video about motivation, if we're motivated to set an intention to engage in a behavior, then we'll be more likely to actually do that behavior. However, the research tells us that people often fail to engage in their desired behaviors, even if they are highly motivated. This is often referred to as the intention-behavior gap. To overcome this gap, we can use self-regulatory strategies, which include things like goal setting, planning, and tracking your progress. The process I'll share with you uses self-regulatory strategies to help bridge this gap between motivation and behavior. I'll be focusing mainly on the checking in piece, so are you actually following through with your intentions, and how can you refine your goals and plans? I recommend that you set aside several hours to perform this mid-year check-in, which may seem like a big time commitment up front, but getting clarity on what's important to you and developing goals and an action plan will be a worthwhile investment of your time. It's important to start this process by reflecting on your priorities. One way you can do this is by journaling. Now hear me out. You might think you can skip this step, but journaling truly can give you so much clarity. Take it from me, I'm someone who used to hate journaling, but now it's something that I do almost every single day. Now, if you're already sold on journaling, great, but if you're still skeptical or don't think you'll enjoy journaling, here are some of my tips. Remember, there are no rules when it comes to journaling. You'll get better with practice, and if you don't like writing in paragraph form, you can always use bullet points. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but if you don't like writing out your journal entries, try typing them instead. For me, this was the biggest game changer to change my mindset about journaling, and I personally like to use Apple Notes for this. So in this journal entry, you are going to reflect on the past quarter, 6 months, year, whatever applies to you when you're watching this video. If you need some prompts to help trigger your memory regarding what happened during this period of time, you can refer to things like previous journal entries, your photos in your camera roll, your calendar events, your daily to-do list, your social media posts, new additions to your resume, or your accomplishments and life milestones. So now we're ready to journal and reflect. And if you already have goals or priorities in place, you're going to start by assessing your progress. So how have you been doing? What have you accomplished? Are these goals still relevant and important to you? Have you been motivated to take the actions necessary to accomplish these goals? Since you already have these goals and priorities in place, it's a good idea to reflect on each focus area individually when writing your journal entry. You can also apply this strategy if you haven't already set goals for yourself, and if that's the case, we're going to set them now. Then you can come back to this video in the next quarter when it's time to revisit your goals. So if you're setting new goals, think of what key areas of your life you'd like to focus on, and why these areas are important to you. Now again, this doesn't have to be super structured or follow a specific template, but it might be helpful to organize your thoughts by dividing your journal entry into different domains of your life. This journaling exercise should give you clarity on what areas of your life you'd like to start or continue prioritizing for the upcoming stretch of the year. Now, at this stage, we just want to select a few priorities, and we're mainly going to be focusing on maintaining or improving existing habits. You can also add in some more priority areas, but try not to overwhelm yourself too much with this. Obviously, health, wellness, and fitness is one domain of life that you can definitely prioritize, and that's a big focus on this channel. But you can also focus on any other domain of life like school, work, relationships, your eating habits, or anything else that's important to you. A little tip that I have for this stage is to develop a buzzword or a theme that encompasses your priority areas. For example, my theme for this year has been to strive for balance, and this refers to balance in all different domains of life. Now, is having balance in all domains of life entirely possible? Debatable, but having this theme in mind has definitely helped me to recenter during times when I was struggling to continue persisting with my goals. At this point, you've identified the areas in your life that you'd like to continue or start prioritizing. Next, we're going to use these priority areas to inform either the refinement or the creation of our specific goals. So if you already have goals in place, this will simply involve ensuring that your goals are in alignment with your priorities at this point. And you can reflect on whether you need to create new goals, eliminate existing goals, or revise your existing goals. So maybe you need to make them more specific or adjust your deadlines. For example, last year I had set the goal to get my driver's license by April, but when the drive test centers closed, that derailed my plans and I had to refine my goals and adjust the deadline to when the drive test centers reopened. If you haven't already set goals, at this stage you're going to create new goals from scratch. Now, I could dedicate an entire video to this, but just some general tips for creating or refining goals. You want to make your goals SMART, which means they are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Next, you want to use strong action words when writing your goals. So for example, instead of just saying use treadmill, you could say something like walk on the treadmill 3 times per week. Also, make sure that you have a balance between achievement-based goals and habit-based goals. So what do I mean by this? Well, the example I gave before of getting my driver's license would be an achievement-based goal because that describes the end goal, the outcome, or something that I can attain. I also set the habit-based goal to practice driving daily and to practice parking at least once per week. And these were the specific actions that I took that helped get me to accomplish my larger achievement-based goal. And another tip I have is to write your goals down or type them out because this helps to bring them to life. And it also gives you something to refer back to when you're revisiting your goals in the future. So now it's time to develop an action plan. Based on your priorities and goals, think of the specific actions that you can continue to take or start taking in order to accomplish your goals. From this brainstorm, select the most relevant action items that you can start tackling now. Don't take on too many action items at once, but maybe just select one new action item or habit to implement per priority area. Yes, your goals should challenge you, but you also have to be realistic in terms of your capabilities. You can tackle the other action items in the future once you've already established some of your new habits. And remember, this is a long-term process. You're not going to change your whole life in one go. And I think that's kind of what's fun and interesting about this whole process is that you learn new things and you can add new things into your routine over a long term and see your progress. So take these short-term action items that you want to start tackling and put them into your calendar and to-do list. Next, you're going to schedule when to tackle these other action items. So are these things you want to do in the upcoming quarter or something that you'll revisit in the future? I personally like to use Notion to keep a database of all the longer term action items that I'd like to do. And I use Google Calendar for planning and organizing my day-to-day life, which includes weekly planning as well as keeping track of events. The final step in this cycle involves reviewing your progress regularly and adjusting your priorities, goals, and plans accordingly. The 4-step process that I've described can be applied every 3 months or so as a quarterly review, but in addition to these larger, more time-consuming, bigger picture check-ins, it's also beneficial to do smaller check-ins. On a weekly basis, this involves reflecting on what you did and didn't accomplish during the past week, as well as what did and didn't work so well. You can also plan what action items you would like to tackle for the upcoming week and schedule these into your weekly planner and to-do list. When possible, I think it's also great to do daily check-ins through journaling. Some things to reflect on might include what you're grateful for on that particular day. I also like to write one story-worthy moment per day. So this basically involves thinking of something interesting that happened to you during the day and writing a short story about it. I also like to do a general reflection, so this could be related to anything, but might also include reflecting on your goals. I suggest creating templates for your daily, weekly, and quarterly reviews because that makes it very easy when it comes time to do these reviews. All you have to do is copy and paste the different headings and then go from there. Or if you're writing things out, you can just write out each of the headings each time. But having these prompts in place can help to structure your journal entries and also help you to be more efficient when going through this process. As you might be able to tell, I'm a big fan of templates and I use them for pretty much everything productivity related. So I thought it was timely to post this video in June because it is a popular method to set New Year's resolutions and then do a mid-year check-in. However, there's nothing magical about setting goals or doing check-ins at these specific time points in the year. What matters is having a process in place and taking action. The start date doesn't matter. Now, if you are watching this video in the summer, I want to acknowledge that this is naturally a time when people's routines do tend to fall off track. And this is totally okay. I think it's important to strike a balance between enjoying your summer and also experiencing the fulfillment that comes with pursuing and achieving your goals. Also, I'm a firm believer in having systems and processes in place that work for you and with you to help propel you toward your goals. And what I've shared with you today is my personal process. I've developed this process based on my personal experience as well as the knowledge and experience of others. This is what I'm currently using and it has been working very well for me. And this process that I've developed has essentially been a decade in the making. It's something I've been continually refining and improving over the years. And as I've refined this system, it's helped me to achieve more. And I'm sure I'll continue to refine and improve my process with time. What's most important is that you develop your own system and find what works for you. I hope that I've provided you with some ideas and inspiration, and you can pick the elements that you think would work best for you to incorporate into your own life. After watching this video, I encourage you to perform your own mid-year check-in or any time of year check-in depending on when you're watching this. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell so you're notified when I upload a new video, share this video with a friend, and be sure to follow me on Instagram. By doing this, you're helping to grow this community so that we can empower more people to make healthy decisions and work toward advancing their personal growth. Also, be sure to leave a comment letting me know what goals you hope to achieve by using this process. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is your reminder to get in some daily movement and take action toward advancing in your life. Bye everyone.